So now, as we really start the recording of the show, with the recording of the show, this will be made for a great promo. We start with the ag report, but it's the 9th week that we're doing this. More than 2 months we have gathered weekly for no reason other than to gather.
Yep.
And, you know,
Good streak.
consistency is something I lack normally. Perseverance is something I have, but consistency is something I lack. But we start each week with the ag report.
And it just went down. Now, when we first came in here, it was up 2 cents on soybeans, but now it's up a cent at 1049.6, which is, is what it is. Corn's up 2 cents, which everybody should have all their corn out of their, field by now, but still a lot of people are still doing soybeans, so, $10.49 is getting closer to where it needs to be to make a profit.
So you're talking about the practical application of what's happening.
Yeah, that's on the Chicago Board of Trade.
Producing the crop in America
Yeah.
that we are now doing what with, because you can't sell it.
Well, we can't sell what we used to China. You can still sell the rest of it. It's just China's not buying any. China was roughly 40% of the market. So with them not buying 40% of what they used to, it's, drove the price down. Though it ain't like them soybeans are gonna rot. They'll still get put to use. They just getting the money getting there that, normally would be there.
Half of the demand.
Right.
And still around the same supply.
Yeah, same supply, and we got a whole continent not buying them, so it's pushed the price down.
Well, I've been trying to understand the Argentina bailout.
$20 billion? Well, the president was very clear. He likes the Argentinian president. What else is there to know?
I think that sums it up pretty much at this point.
Yeah, now he's saying he's going to buy beef from them, which will drive down the price of beef.
Yes, but
To be fair,
he likes the Argentinian president.
Yeah, he wants them to stay in power. That was part of one of the limiting factors of them getting the money. Is the guy down there stays in power.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's conditional.
Malay.
So
It is
I think
conditional.
it's Malay,
They
Malay,
switch.
isn't it,
If they
President?
switch, yeah, administrations,
Yeah.
no money.
well, I saw that play out in the press room of the White House. So it wasn't just me that saw that, correct? Or you read that?
What's that?
I saw it live, and it's like, but when it happens right in front of you, and it's so obvious, what do you do but go, wow, okay. But let's be more serious. How is that bailout occurring? And then when you dig further, which I have,
Well, apparently it is loan, I guess, and loans have interest. So I guess eventually the taxpayers will be, reimbursed, assuming that the interest covers the rate of inflation.
say that again.
Presumably, it's been described as a loan, and loans have interest. So as long as the interest is more than inflation, then taxpayers will get some return on their investment.
Which they had no say in making, and there is
Well,
a record of
supposedly,
Argentinians not being able
our
to.
say is through congressional representatives and senators. Those are the people who are supposed to make decisions about where money goes. But here, let me be fair.
Please be fair.
Democrats started this little mess with Obama's executive orders.
It's always Obama's fault.
Who started? I'm saying started this slippery slope slide into crap. Who did the first executive orders that were really beyond the scope of that office?
Obama.
Well, there you go then. I'm not an anti-Obama guy. I also don't think that he was the second.
He couldn't move though because of the Congress that he had.
It doesn't matter.
Senate, okay.
It does not matter.
Well,
It does not matter. He did that.
he did.
And so here we are now with presidents ruling like, well, there's no other way to say it, ruling like kings.
Wow. And we're just in the ag report, and just at the very top of it show.
But there is
ag?
good news, didn't they announce some sort of SOP for the United States farmers, some sort of bailout?
SOP.
Did they start?
We were having that discussion earlier, ag.
Yeah, we looked. It's basically in the works.
Oh, talk.
But the government shut down, so the talks can't be had. And according to one of
Would you?
Go ahead.
What percent? I was going to Google this on my own. What percent of military families are recipients of SNAP?
wow, I'm going to say 25% maybe.
It was in the autocomplete, so you ain't the first one that asked it.
So now you're talking about
It's less
real
than
life
1%.
benefit.
Less than 1%. Well, that's good to know that they're paying them enough that they don't actually qualify
In
for that program.
2020, Department of Defense reports finding 24% of active duty households experienced food insecurity at some point. Only a small percentage of those actually got SNAP benefits.
So they're just riding that line.
Yeah, I mean
They earn enough
they don't
money.
get paid a ton, but they get enough to live
But they don't, yeah.
if they manage it right.
See, that's the tough spot. When you right when you lose eligibility for food stamps, you just suddenly get,
Level
what is
back.
it, $300 to $400 budget hit per person, right? Is that roughly what it costs to eat? $300 to $400 a month?
A month.
If you're easy, if you're wise, but yeah, right. That would be a nice budget to have for us, disabled seniors. 400 could get me by, but that ain't what the government gets, unless you have children, which brings the whole.
There's a whole lot of children who aren't going to be getting.
Not going to be getting their SNAP because that program is, unless Trump derails. Puts other money to the programs. It can be funded, even though it's too late, it seems to be at this point, because of the mechanisms needed to put in place to make the payments to people. Help me out on this one.
Moderate cost for a family of four is $304 a week.
A week.
Comes out to $1,300 or $1,400 a month. That's, definitely based on what you eat, If you're eating ramen noodles every meal, you can get it down there pretty cheap. If you're eating good.
Even on my worst of homeless days, I'd almost snub my nose at ramen noodles.
I still eat ramen noodles. I get the fancy ramen noodles, the ones with the,
Thank you.
extra sauce in them and stuff, but they're $1 a bowl, maybe $1.50.
So we have paid the Argentinians $40 billion.
Yep.
And we hope to pay, and we don't know the details of that. We will detail that on my Facebook page. Well, actually, Dolan Rogers, the second Facebook page, 'cause that's who we play on
I think
Facebook.
when you're talking about 20 million, that's the amount that
From
Trump
taxpayers.
has decided that the Department of Justice owes
Yes,
him.
Treasury. U.S. Treasury.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's 230 million.
200.
Oh, 230. I thought that was 120 million.
And I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. Do you? Are we all victims of TD? I don't believe I am. I just believe I'm a victim of realism.
I'm a centrist, and I know this because because the lefties think that I'm a righty, and the righties think I'm lefty.
Yep.
And I say, when I joke to people, I go, both those cats are more farther left than I am. So that shows you how central of the discussion I am. But I can see, you speaking of Kings a while ago, but we have got to finish this ag report.
Yeah.
Don't we, ag? Why do they grow cotton around here now?
Because they can. This is as far north as you can do it.
Yeah, and they got to.
What's that?
Soybeans used to be the one that made the most money, and since soybeans are so low, there's a lot more cotton being grown
Lot of
because cotton's.
I love cotton. I know it's not good for the soil. It
For
really
the soul?
soil. Oh, it's good for the skin. It's good for the skin. It's good for the soil. 100%
good for us
cotton
all.
or very clever polyester blends, but
Yeah, it's
I
just
think-
one of those money things. You can make right now. You can make more money in cotton than you can in soybeans. I don't think they're making a whole lot of money. It's still pretty low.
Okay, so finishing up, we haven't got to the river stages and the weather, which is going to be rather chilly. Going to get into the upper 30s in a couple of days, but we're in fall.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice fall weather.
This is fall weather, and I like it.
I dig it. What about the river levels down there?
Super low. We had to wait on the barge yesterday. When we were hauling off some grain, we had to basically wait in line until the barge gets there to get the granary unloaded so that you can put more grain in the granary. So it is affecting traffic on the river. Anytime it gets real low like this, there's places where they can't pass, side by side. Like when it's high, it's like an interstate. When it's low, it's like a 2-lane road.
Right.
So it affects that. I don't know if the granary's taking anything basis wise, because normally when the river gets real low, the granary basically docks your pay a little bit because of the river transit's not they call it basis for some reason. I don't know where they got that term at, but sometimes it can be anywhere from 10 cents to $1 a bushel that they take from you because the river's low.
I think they can base this right off.
Yeah, they basically do it because they can.
That sounds like racketeering.
I mean, it's to the point. It seems like it to me too.
That's what he says.
I
What they
hate
call it, basis.
seeing
Is that what the kids are calling it now?
Yeah.
Basis.
It's like if you went to Walmart and your groceries were higher because they were right on the interstate.
Yeah, right.
They do it because they can.
Yep.
Wow. What a cynical view of things, fellas. Yes,
That's the
no.
reality of it.
Reality. So the weather, though, we finished that up. It's going to be nice, cool, and fall.
Yep.
No rain.
Oh, there's
No
rain.
rain until Sunday, I think. Sunday and then Tuesday.
So the river levels aren't rising anytime soon.
Well, rain here doesn't rise them here either.
It's
Rain
gotta be
here.
Right, right.
sends it
North
down
and-
to-
Yeah.
Yeah, we need north and up to Missouri, I guess.
East.
Oh well,
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah. Anywhere in the middle of the country, all the way to the
2/3 of the nation's water supply drains to Cairo, Illinois.
Yep.
Everything
Every
east
drop
of the
north of there is
Rockies,
going through. Yep.
everything west of the Appalachians gets here.
Yep.
Mammoths. All runs right by down there where Ag lives. They blew a levee one time because of that. The water was so high. So would you bring some photos in on week 10 we can look at?
Yeah, I got tons of them. We floated a boat into Brother Bennett's second story of his house.
So I saw that, which is a
Park
point I
Ranger's
want
house
to make.
too.
Back in 2011, and this leads me right into Scotty's credentials, which is part 2 of today's program. Because I get my credentials in part 2B. In 2011, he and I really first became acquainted with the flood. He was taking footage of the water that was just awesome. Still is. It's just incredible when you look at it. It's surreal. The amount of the water and how it moved and what it did during that time. But so I did the coverage for the paper. I was running the papers at the time, the Eagle and the Courier, okay, both of them, running them. And so, I was at the front lines, and my boss at the time thought I was making the public panic with my coverage. This is a true story, man. And I was like, dude, they're going to blow the levee. Oh, they'll never blow. I said, okay. I kept writing and kept producing good quality work, friend, that got me the job as a publisher in Louisiana because of the work I did here on the flood with the help of this guy. All right, so, well, this is all rambling together, but I did a couple of good double-page spreads with the photos, aerial photos that we took and all. And, when people use that, I like to be credited for that. Like, courtesy of Kevin Pritchett or by Kevin Pritchett. Well,
Photo bonnet,
yeah.
yeah.
I've had a number of occasions of late to take issue with some things that I should probably let go, but anyhow, we were talking about the flood, right? Brother Bennett. Help me out. Help me out of this hole I've created.
Well, I mean, it was a flood of record proportions. From what I saw, I mean, it was so destructive. We found so many deer carcasses in the tops of irrigation pivots where they had washed into the pivot, and the river went down and the carcass was still hanging up there.
I took a famous photo of a dead deer carcass at
Kawasaki?
no, at the mansion down there on the left, Mount Level. Yeah, it was in that double spread that got posted the other day and took it out of the way. So let's talk about your credentials. This is the deal. How many years do you work for the newspaper?
I think it was like 17.
I was thinking it was like 20, 22, 17. So folks don't know this, but Scotty took my mom's job
Oh, no, wait.
when she retired.
There you go. And actually, there was someone in between us.
Not
that
not
didn't-
with the quality that
No,
y'all
they
did.
didn't last long.
Right. So Scotty, say that again. How many years
17.
as a journalist of record in our region?
Standard Democrat.
Democrat.
Well, they were a right-leaning paper. It was a legacy name from the Daily Standard and a Democrat advertising.
That's correct. The Blantons, who owned the Daily Standard, were muscled out of the game in the 80s when there was newspaper wars going on around the country. And Michael won that one, Mr. Jensen. And who I often chide and have fun with because of their appearance on the beat, KYMO, which is, I try to get Ag to listen to.
I know. You're gonna talk about credentials. Did you know that I worked at KYMO too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So did I. Well, you know this. I worked there for 20 years. Yeah. That's part of your credentials. So 17th is standard. What years was that? Ag?
I think it was 1999 to 2016 or something, or whatever, something like that.
Wow, where were
March
you?
15th. Here's a fun fact. My first day was March 15th, the Ides of March, and my last day was March 15th.
Exactly for the year.
Yeah, that's
What,
remarkable, isn't it?
what is Ides of March?
I have no idea.
The 15th of March.
And then when Julius
I forgot.
Julius Caesar got killed, I
He
believe.
did get assassinated by his Senate on that day.
Yeah, okay. I'm a history buff, but go ahead. 17 years from really up until not even a decade ago. You were, if people wanted to know what was going on in the county, you knew.
Yeah, pretty much. And I presented news proudly without bias other than for the community good.
Did people know where you stood politically
I
at
don't
the time?
think they did.
I never expressed mine publicly until 2016.
It wasn't until after I left the newspaper that things really started to polarize in reporting, and everything has got progressively more and more spun until now we are in propaganda land. This is weapon grades propaganda from both sides. Neither side is telling enough truth for it to be Walter Cronkite style news.
So you've been trolling on a post. I use Walter Cronkite as an example. Ag, your take.
Oh, I think it's worse than it's ever been as far as reporting goes. I mean, they basically report whatever politicians say, and they're lying through their teeth the entire time, and they're acting like it's fact.
We used to like puff out our chests and look down at Soviet Russia because they had this kind of press.
But I see a resistance. And maybe it's because of my
is it 7
AI,
million?
my algae.
That's 7 million resistance. That's 7 million people, peaceful resistance. Reportedly, they didn't even leave trash behind.
Well, there was 22 arrests that day.
Yeah, but
Violent
All
mugs.
22 of them were MAGA loyalists trying to incite or trying to harass the protesters who were being peaceful.
I am so
I
proud
hope my fourth
of
guest shows
those
up
patriotic
for the right side,
Americans
straight.
for not
going nuts.
Acting like a fool.
And for doing it right.
Right.
They didn't, you know, maybe they were policing themselves, because I know.
They had to be.
Yeah, they had to
Because
be
you can't
watching
get
out.
7 million people together. I mean, you know how much damage they could have done if they were actually violent and
if they were hating America.
Yeah.
Soros
It
paid
would
them
burn
all.
cities
They're
down.
all paid. You know, I know the people there in Cape got a
Again,
check
the
from
propaganda
Soros.
reports that Portland is burning.
Yeah.
The furries set them on fire.
The guys in the frog outfits.
Yeah. Okay, but now wait, guys. What is the common denominator and thread through all this? The chaos? Is it coming? When you talk about kings, the dude literally used an AI video. Kenny Loggins, this is what I have on the agenda. Kenny Loggins, the sweetest feller you'd ever want to meet. House at Pooh Corner, Winnie the Pooh. He knows what to do. You literally faked yourself in a king hat, like you're driving a jet, dumping poo on Americans, on your fellow citizens, and now he's just funning. Okay, but not as president of the United States,
It
man.
wouldn't be funny if he was a comedian.
Sure.
And he ain't a comedian.
No, he's supposed to have dignity.
It's something, you know.
He's
You radical leftist
You used to be able to
libtards.
tell your kids you can look up to the president no matter what side they were on, because they were usually a respectable person and, you know, acted with some integrity most of the time. But now it's, you know, flying a jet over and dropping crap on people with wearing a crown, and that's not something I want my kid to even see, much less something to look up to.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah, how do you follow that up? And because, good Lord, I saw the exchange he had with his son about it.
Yeah, that's because, you know, Trump keeps telling us he stopped 8 wars. And my son's a big history buff, and he don't put emotion into anything. Every question you answer him, he's going to give you a scientific answer, whether he feels one way about it or not. And I asked him, what are these 8 wars that Trump stopped? And he said, the only thing I know he stopped is the respect for the president. And that's coming from a 17-year-old that, you know, don't have much emotion about something either way. It's either, you know, he gives you the right answer or to his best of his knowledge what the right answer is, and that's what the answer to his what 8 wars has he stopped was the only thing he stopped is my respect for the president.
You saw that little picture I shared with Janie, my little granddaughter? Her looking at me, actually, and a smile on her face. You know, so, yeah. I'm going to look at the little girl and tell her, well, that's what you want to be when you grow up. Like, yeah. And that's okay to act like that, and that's cool. I'm just not going to do that, man. I don't know if it's integrity, self-integrity, or whatever. When I see it happening in real time, and I recognize it for it being what it is, what do you want me to do? Shrink in the corner and go, well, Mike Johnson is, boy, that old feller, he's right on time.
You know, Jon Stewart pointed out on one of his recent episodes that when they were declaring this nation independent of Great Britain, they listed a bunch of things that the king had done, grievances. And he went down this list.
Which started with,
I can't remember.
well,
what it
I
was.
do, because I think you wrote about it, and it was pretty eloquent. And did you see the note that we got? I don't mean to interrupt, but got a nice note about the right-wing echo chamber, which is kind of echoing what we're doing, the grievances. We see it. And is there a solution? Is there a way out of this mess?
Well, what did it take last time to displace tyranny?
What did it do?
I'm just putting a rhetorical question.
We're
out
all
there.
going to end up in the gulag.
How has historically any tyrant been displaced?
Extreme use of force.
Oh. Well, these libtards, they ain't got no weapons. They's a bunch of sissies. Oh, but wait. You taught Taekwondo for 3 decades you've been at. Okay. You're also armed, right? I don't want to violate your private space, but you recognize the Second Amendment. You're a fan of.
Well, that's what makes me so sad is the Second Amendment was supposed to be our safeguard against tyranny, but most of the people who support the Second Amendment also support the current tyrannical regime. And maybe it's not fully fledged tyrannical, but if it's a baby, Tyrannosaurus, it's still a Tyrannosaurus.
Dinosaurs existed?
Huh? Here we sit talking about the good old days when there wasn't bias in this.
Cronkite, man, fairness doctrine.
The fairness
Scotty.
doctrine. That was a significant step.
Yeah.
There was a long time that I thought Reagan was a good guy, and now I see that he undid a lot of things that protected us from the situation we're in now.
Which is a mirror of what he was on steroids. Eh? So, commercial break.
Well,
we haven't even talked about the Pick'em challenge at all.
you know how Reagan
Yes, Bob
just,
didn't show up today because he's working.
you know that the Reagan Klan administration conspired with foreign nationals to not release the hostages so that it would skew the president election.
I've seen that reporting.
That's facts. It's on record.
Right.
So I'll just say that, and that maybe he wasn't the best president, but Jimmy Carter was the only president in our lifetime that I would describe as a Christian man.
Wow. My first vote for president was for James Earl Carter,
I was too young.
1980. I voted when he got beat and was dismayed as F. Like, we just voted for a movie star. I was in college at the time, a sophomore at SEMO. And just wasn't thinking clearly at the time, obviously, but like, come on. But yeah, it was the Iranian crisis, hostage crisis that
And gas prices.
because of the Iranian, yeah, wow. But we're 30 minutes into the show, fellas.
All right, goodbye. See you.
No, we're going to hit stop here and do an addendum part 2 because we haven't talked about anything. We have not done our 2 minutes of Skinner. Because turn it up. Our family sojourn to the crash site, man. It was like a Mecca to actually walk the ground that I had just visualized Freebird falling out of the sky. And then I interviewed a dude that was on the flight, a guy named Ron Eckerman, before he died of cancer, and he wrote a book, and Ronnie Van Zant used to call Ron Eckerman, because he was Ronnie, and that was Ron Eckerman. Google this, folks, if you don't believe me. And so I did a real deep dive when I was in Louisiana about...
And what year did that plane go down?
48 years ago, the 20th. Gillsburg, Mississippi, which is in the middle of nowhere outside of Macomb. You got to be driving.
So you always call this guy first and last name?
Ron Eckerman.
Yeah.
Ron Eckerman.
I do that to a good friend of mine, a great musician and songwriter, Tommy Main. I mean, right to his face all the time, I call him Tommy Main.
Because, these cats were doing what we all wanted to do back in the day. I mean, they had a blast. They just rode.
Professional about it, too, though.
Yeah,
Skinner was one of the bands that, for a long time, there was a lot of people who just kind of jammed their way through their hits or whatever, but, man, he wanted you to know your part and for you to play that part when it came time to the show. I guess there were sometimes events that rules did extended versions, but it was all written out.
I need 3 songs from you, but can you name, from Ag, can you name the band members that died? And it's not a quiz. I just need 3 songs from
Alan
you.
Collins died on it.
No,
He didn't die in it?
No, excuse me, messed him up. They messed them all up. I mean, even those that survived were, you're in a
Didn't Alan
plane.
Collins have a sister who was singing backups?
No, Stevie Gaines.
Steve, that's
Yeah.
right. That's what I'm
Cassie
Steve
Gaines.
Gaines.
And I
Okay,
kid because
Steve-
I've done it.
Right, Steve and
Yes.
Cassie, they both died.
They did.
That's right. Okay.
Ronnie died, and Ron Eckerman's a good friend, Dean Kirkpatrick, who was like the road manager, kind of the cool guy who got their dough. And so and the 2 pilots, who everybody kind of dismisses because those fellers.
Is there a fault? Is
They
she on there?
survived. The pilots.
No. They were for the two of the 6 that died. Well, that plane was already in diving question. Okay, it had when they had flown into South Carolina the previous evening. Greenville, I believe, was their last concert. It was sputtering and there was fire coming out the engine, but they're all just doped up, friends. So
Get back on the burning plane. That's a good idea.
It has 2 wings. It had 2 engines in it, one on either wing.
Man, come on, you chicken. You just get on the plane. Get on the plane. Ronnie said get on the plane. One of the backup singers didn't fly because she had a premonition that something was going to happen. So,
It's just funny.
yeah, she told that story. So, they know they're going to crash. The pilots notice they're out of gas because something about the tank, the discharge burned too much. They ran out of gas about 50 miles from Baton Rouge, where they could have got it down. And so I think I've bored you before, but I'm going to bore you again. There was a clearing that the dudes tried to get down in. Okay,
They didn't make it.
and Gary Rossington and Artemis Powell, the drummer, recall what it sounded like as they're coming in. It's like, we're sitting there, nobody's freaking out, nobody's panicking. They know what's going down. All of a sudden you hear that on the top of that tree. Comes to a horse, and that Ronnie is sitting in the front, kills him immediately. And Gary Rossington's recall of it is great. If you see Billy Powell afterwards, his face all cut up, whatever. It went down and up too, bodily. Oh, and Artemis was going up to the road to get help. The farmer, who actually did call 911 at the time and help, shot at him first. There's this hippie screaming, running out of the field at him, and he shoots at him. You can Google all this, deep dive it. But when you go to that site, if you're a Skinner file, it's soothing, it's calming, it's like, man. And then when you listen to their music, let's throw Ed King, I don't want to forget him because he was an early part of that success. He's the guy that did the Sweet Home Alabama lick.
Yeah. He said the solo came to him in a dream. Paul McCartney said the same thing about the melody for Yesterday.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so... We can't do that either. But we were going to rehearse and do that America song, Ventura Highway.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And the song that you taught me that I really feel good about is Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. It took me 1,000 years to learn that lick.
Things with easier musicians now, you just look it up on YouTube. There are 15 guys show you, here's how to play Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here.
Yeah.
And, and out of those 15 guys, 6 or 7 might even have it right.
Oh, well, dude, yeah. Oh, but so that's the 2 minutes of Skinner. And that wasn't our deep dive in music today.
I got a headline for the music.
What?
Christian musician who sang the national anthem for Trump at 2022 rally is facing federal child pornography charges. It gets better.
It gets better?
Christian music star born without arms has been arrested on charges of possessing and producing child pornography while he was a minister at the women's prison.
I think I may have been out of... We didn't get any of that good music stuff on... Well, we got it here, though. Eagles deep dive. How did that come into play?
What?
The
No, man, you like all sorts of stuff on these agendas.
the agendas, we take our job serious here, even though the pay is minimal.
Alright.
And, you know, the KP Pick'em Challenge, week 9 of it, man, and it's been good. I don't even know the
top
team.
5 now?
Close to the top 5. Near. You got a chance to win it. Chance and a chance. But we're in our music deep dive. The Eagles. Jesus. 3 songs, Ag.
Of who?
The Eagles. Without having to Google it.
Forget that, because I ain't coming up with. I couldn't tell you 3 songs I heard on the radio this morning.
David Allen Coe.
No.
What are your 3 favorite Eagles songs? Well, not 3 favorite, but give me 3 Eagles songs. Witchy Woman. Already Gone. It's already gone. 3rd one. Do Hotel.
It won't be in the right key. It's capable of I can do a
Yes.
actually
yes.
do it.
One of these nights.
7.
Lion Eyes. I can do Lion Eyes. Peaceful, Easy Feeling. See you next week. Week 10. Wow. I just got chills. That was good.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That was good. I was worried about today. I was worried and concerned. Oh, we got to hit. Wait, we got to. Let's finish it up, guys. We're still here. Come
You
here.
said that was the end.
Well, it was. Let me hit this again.
Oh.
Come on.
All right.
I tell you, that was a good ending, and naturally now we're artificially doing that, so it won't be as well. But team on me, team on 3, 1, 2, 3. Why we should have just ended it and let it go.